Today, we're going to break down something super important, OSHA's safety training requirements. This is one of those things that's absolutely critical for protecting your people and your company's bottom line.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a number that should make every business owner sit up and pay attention. We're talking $165,000. That's the kind of penalty you could be looking at for just one willful violation. And willful means they knew they weren't complying and just didn't. It's a huge reminder of how high the stakes really are here.
So that really brings us to the big question, right? Is your training program just checking a box? Or is it genuinely protecting your team and your business? That's what we're here to figure out. This explainer is all about helping you answer that question with a confident yes.
All right, first up, let's get into why this matters so much. We're going to look at both sides of the coin here. What happens when you get it wrong versus all the good stuff that happens when you get it right.
It's really important to think about this the right way. Ignoring training isn't just about dodging fines. Nope. It's a real threat to your business. We're talking higher workers' comp claims, lost productivity, the whole shebang. But on the other hand, when you invest in training, it's not just another expense. It actually saves you money, boosts morale, and just makes your whole operation stronger.
And believe me, the cost of getting this wrong is, well, it's staggering. Get this, U.S. businesses shell out almost $1 billion every single week, just in direct workers' comp costs. And the crazy part? A huge chunk of that comes from injuries that were totally preventable, if only the right training had been in place.
But here's the good news. This stuff really works. There's proof. One study looked at companies after an OSHA inspection, got them on the right track, and look at these results. They saw a 9% drop in injury claims, which is great, but a whopping 26% cut in their workers' comp costs. That is serious money going right back into the business.
Okay, so how do you get those kinds of benefits? Well, it all starts with knowing what you're actually supposed to be doing. So let's dive into a simple roadmap of what OSHA really requires.
Now, here's something you've got to understand. There isn't just one magic OSHA training rule. It's not that simple. The requirements are actually woven into more than 100 different standards. Each one is tied to the specific dangers in your workplace, whether you're on a construction site or in a regular office.
So even though there are over 100 of these standards, there are a few big ones that pop up for a lot of businesses. You've got things like hazard communication, or HAZCOM, for handling chemicals. There's lockout/tagout, LODO, for machinery, and of course, fall protection for anyone working up high, plus stuff like forklift training and emergency action plans. The key takeaway, though, is that what you need always comes back to your specific workplace hazards. And listen, OSHA is super specific about the details here. Training is not a one-and-done kind of deal. It has to happen when an employee first starts, it has to happen whenever a new hazard is introduced, and you've got to do periodic refreshers. And this last part is absolutely crucial. It has to be in a language and in terms that every single one of your workers can actually understand.
All right, so that's the what you need to train on. Now for the really practical part. How do you do it? Let's walk through a simple 5-step playbook to build a program that doesn't just check a box, but one that genuinely keeps people safe.
This little playbook right here, it takes compliance from this big, scary thing and turns it into something you can actually manage. It's just a logical process, right? You start by figuring out your risks. Then you make a plan. You train your people. You document everything. And then you evaluate and get better. Each step builds on the one before it, creating this awesome cycle of always improving.
Now I want you to pay special attention to step 4 here, because this quote, it says everything you need to know. For an OSHA inspector, if it isn't written down, it didn't happen. Period. If you can't show them a sign-in sheet, a certificate, something, it's like the training never took place. That paperwork is your proof that you did the right thing.
And look, none of this works if it's just a piece of paper. The whole thing really depends on your leadership. When your managers and supervisors are out there leading by example, actually following the safety rules themselves, well, that sends a powerful message. It tells everyone that safety is a real value in your company, not just some poster on the wall.
Okay, let's bring this all together. Because when you do all this, it becomes something way more powerful than just avoiding fines. We're moving beyond a simple checklist now. We're talking about creating a real, living culture of safety.
And this is the real goal, right here. What's a culture of safety? It's when working safely is just what you do. It's automatic.
It's when your employees feel comfortable pointing out a hazard without fear, and when everyone, from the newest hire to the CEO, is committed to making sure everyone else is safe.
And you know, this isn't something you just achieve and then you're done. It's a journey. You have to keep working at it. That means keeping amazing records, reviewing your program every year, staying up to date on any OSHA changes, and most importantly, making sure everyone feels they can talk openly about safety.
Because really, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's not about passing an inspection. It's not even just about saving money on insurance, as great as that is. The real reward, the ultimate ROI, is knowing that your people, your most valuable asset, get to go home safe to their families every single night. So, let's wrap this up with a challenge for you. Don't try to overhaul everything tomorrow. Just think about this. What is the one thing you can do this week to make your workplace just a little bit safer? What's one step you can take to strengthen that culture? Think about it.